The day of my grandmother's will reading was supposed to bring closure, but instead, it opened every wound my family had carefully hidden. The lawyer's office was small but tense, filled with whispers and the faint rustle of papers. My aunts and uncles sat in polished suits, pretending to mourn while exchanging knowing glances. I sat quietly in the corner, feeling out of place. My grandmother, Eleanor, had raised me for most of my childhood after my parents passed away. She was my whole world, stern but kind, the one person who believed in me when no one else did. But ever since she fell ill, I'd noticed how my relatives hovered around her like vultures, bringing flowers and fake smiles while whispering about inheritance when they thought she couldn't hear. When she passed, I didn't care about money. I just missed her. Still, I was invited to the reading, though from the look on my Aunt Martha's face, she clearly thought I shouldn't have been. She leaned toward me before things started and whispered with that signature smirk, "You know, dear, Grandma didn't really consider you family. Don't be too shocked when your name isn't mentioned." Her words stung, but I said nothing. I had learned long ago that silence often said more than anger ever could. The lawyer, Mr. Jenkins, an elderly man with kind eyes, began reading the will. Jewelry to one aunt, stock investments to another, the lake cabin to my uncle. Every name but mine. Martha shot me a satisfied glance, her smirk widening with every sentence. My hands tightened in my lap, but I kept my expression calm. I wasn't here for her approval. I was here to say goodbye properly. Finally, Mr. Jenkins cleared his throat. "And lastly," he said, glancing up at me, "to my granddaughter, Emma." The room fell silent. Martha's smirk froze. I blinked, unsure if I'd heard correctly. "To Emma," he continued, "who has always shown kindness without expectation, I leave the house at 214, Maple Lane and everything within it, including the safety deposit box key in the kitchen drawer." My mouth dropped open. The Maple Lane house, Grandma's home, was everything she had left. The one place filled with memories of us baking cookies, planting flowers, and watching old movies together. My aunts immediately began protesting. "That's absurd," Martha snapped. She must have been confused. "Emma barely has a job. How could she take care of that house?" Mr. Jenkins raised an eyebrow. Mrs. Eleanor Parker was of sound mind when this will was signed. She was very clear about her wishes. He pulled out another envelope. "There's also a personal letter addressed to Emma." My heart pounded as I unfolded the note, the familiar handwriting bringing tears to my eyes. "My dearest Emma," it began, "if they are reading this, it means I am gone. Please don't let their bitterness steal your peace. You were the only one who stayed when I needed help, the only one who sat with me when the nights were long. I saw you cleaning the house, cooking, laughing with me when the pain was too much to bear. That love means more than any inheritance ever could, and this home belongs to you because you filled it with warmth again." I couldn't hold back my tears. For the first time, the room was silent, not out of respect, but shock. Mr. Jenkins wasn't done. "There's one more clause," he said, adjusting his glasses. "Should any family member attempt to contest this will, their share will be legally revoked and donated to charity." The color drained from my aunt's face. My uncle muttered something under his breath, but no one dared to speak after that. I stood slowly, folding the letter and clutching it to my chest. "Grandma always said this house was her heart," I said softly. "I guess she wanted it to keep beating." As I turned to leave, Martha called out, her voice brittle. "You don't deserve it, Emma. She just pitied you." I paused at the door, then looked back. "If kindness looks like pity to you, Aunt Martha, maybe that's why she left you nothing." Her face twisted in anger, but I didn't stay to see her response. When I arrived at the house later that day, I unlocked the door and stepped inside. The smell of lavender still lingered, her rocking chair still by the window. On the mantel, there was a photo of us together, smiling. Next to it was a small note in her handwriting. "You were my peace. Now this house is yours. Fill it with the same love you gave me." I broke down then, not out of pride or triumph, but gratitude. Grandma hadn't just left me a house. She'd left me a reminder that love, not money, is the true inheritance. And as the sun set through the windows, I realized she'd given me the one thing no one else in that room ever had, her trust.